Alright, so we're going to take a look at a casted game between Vortix and TheViper. Now, in this, I'm excited because, as some of you may know that have been following the Golden League, the Rus meta has been developing quite significantly. There's a bunch of different variations and options that they go for, and all seem to be like pretty solid options these days. Rus was considered to be like one of the worst civs since they've had multiple nerfs, but the meta has evolved and people have actually figured out good ways to play this civ. So in this game, we're going to be taking a look mostly from Vortix's perspective. And as you can see, he's sent out 2 vills to build the hunting cabin and then a house and lumber camp as well. So we're going to take a look at his build. We're also going to kind of deep dive into some of the strategy decisions he goes for here. So as you can see, he's sending 2 scouts out with a very aggressive pathing, right? This is intentional as well. You want to steal as much bounty from your opponent as possible, because you're going to have 2 instant scouts and then you're going to train a scout out of the hunting cabin, which can then get like these hunts at home. He very intentionally ignored this so that he could go out. He's already got 2 wolves with this scout, 3 wolves with this scout, and he's looking for a deer patch that he can potentially take a few deer as well. So already looks like a really good start for Vortix. He's going to have a great bounty count quite early on in this game. And we'll see what he does from here. So far, pretty standard, I think, with most Rus openers now, is to go 2 on wood, and then the rest are going to go onto food. So these guys just built the buildings and then go into wood as well. I think we're going to see an early wheelbarrow. We've seen a shift from from pro scouts to wheelbarrow. But now that Rus plays more aggressive, most of the time they're going to be able to access the hunts without having to bring them all the way back in. And wheelbarrow is also a really great tech, especially if you're going heavy on wood in the mid game. Wheelbarrow does affect wood gatherers more than anything else, just because most of the time they have to kind of come back really far to drop off. Whereas someone like, if you went pro scouts and wheelbarrow, like someone standing right under your TC dropping off without any walking distance, wheelbarrow's not really going to affect them that much. So are we seeing wheelbarrow? We're not seeing wheelbarrow yet. I'm a little bit surprised, but let's see what he opts to go for here. As you can see, he's kind of gone around the outskirts with his scouts and then looped back so that he's able to pick up his own bounty here. We do see some contests coming out from Viper though right now. I'd imagine Vortix will lose a few of these deer, but he did pick up 3 wolves in the middle here. So that's 75 bounty. That's more than a whole deer patch. So he picks up that deer as well. I think he's lost 1 to the Viper so far. Still not losing anything. And Viper can't really hang around, right? Because he's got a wolf attacking his scout, whereas Vortix has a full HP one here. He's bringing back sheep now. One thing to be very careful of is that you don't run out of sheep. So you need 1 scout to come back and make sure you're not going to run out there. Going up with 7 villagers. Still no wheelbarrow, so not opting to go for the wheelbarrow that I've quite commonly seen. We'll see what else he puts that gold to use for. So he's got 5 on food in transition, now sending all new vills to wood. And just continuously scouting. So he's got 2 scouts securing bounty, 1 now going to his opponent's side to see what he's up to. One thing that you can kind of expect out of HRE most of the time is they're going to try and make minimal units to get up to castle age. So they can capture those relics, but one thing you need to be careful of, and I'm sure Viper is that Rus are playing very aggressive in most cases. Some like to go like double TC or something like that. Others like to go out on the map and start pressuring your opponent straight away. Let's take a quick look at what Viper's up to. Going up with Ark and Chapel. Just 2 on gold for now, and he's sending across a few to wood here as well. Now let's see what Water's up to. He's dropping a stable instantly with 2 villagers, and he sent all of the vills from the landmark back onto food. So looking to get out an early night here. No eco techs as of yet. But one thing you want to be doing against HRE, especially if they're planning on going a fast castle, is you want to push their gold. Obviously they need gold in order to get up, and if you can take him off these 2 patches here, which are like right next to each other, he has to come all the way out here, which is very exposed and not likely that he's going to go for that. So first knight coming out, and it's actually rallied to the boar. So it looks like he's going to go for the boar kill initially with these knights rather than pressuring the gold. And with correct micro with your scouts, you can lose 0 health on your knights. If you just put the scout closer to the boar is going to focus whatever is closest. In most cases, but that's how it should be functioning. So he's bringing his scouts over to tank the damage for the knight. Oh, he's actually bringing his villagers out straight away. So he's actually bringing 8 villagers out to a forward position to secure this boar. Because the boar has 2,000 food, and not only does it have 2,000 food, it has the fastest gathering rate of any food source in this game. And another thing to keep in mind is Rus. They get an extra 10% from food harvest rate. So this boar is going to give like a crazy income here. So he's bringing the vills to attack as well, bringing the knight. Honestly, you probably didn't even need this knight to join in. Like, the villagers in melee do a really good job. And as you can see, he has only lost half of his health of his scout, which is going to regenerate its health. And he's going to now be able to secure the boar. 8 is the magic number for 2 reasons. That means 8 villagers can fit around a boar together. And also, the wooden fortress can garrison 8 villagers as well, which he's putting there for defensive measures to make sure he doesn't get pressured off it. So he spent all of his wood on that so far. So he's gotten a stable. And then he's built a hunting cabin and a wooden fortress here. Obviously a big wood investment. But I don't think he's going to feel like he's under pressure anytime soon. Especially considering HRE are usually not the aggressors. Sometimes you see a men-at-arm rush. But it's not common in the higher level games here. Viper got a sneaky little scout here. Making sure he's keeping tabs on what Vortix is doing. And now he's moving out a little bit further. So he's looking for Vill kills on the gold, but currently Viper doesn't have anyone on gold and looking just to get out as many units as possible. Then maybe consider going out for gold once he feels comfortable to do so. Oh my lord. This is interesting. He's going for forward archery ranges, and now I've already watched this game, so I knew this was happening, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen this, and at a competitive level, this is the first time that this has been done. Now, this is both 2 things. It's good and bad. So, what I mean by it's good is there's less travel time, right, for your units to get to your opponent's base. Not only that, there's less likely to get cut off. So your reinforcements, if they're coming from your base here, Viper could have like a scout sitting here and a couple horsemen constantly coming in and just like picking off an archer here and there. This pretty much eliminates that risk having it here. Obviously, if Vortix ever gets overrun in unit count, he's going to struggle to hold this position. Not only is he going to lose his military production, he's also going to lose his boar gathering bills. But in combination with like 8 vills in the wooden fortress, it feels like he should never really lose this position. Especially against HRE, unless we see like a big mistake coming in. So Viper now opting to go on to gold, so he's probably thinking, okay, I want to get up pretty soon. Vortix has other plans. He's coming with knights, archers, really fast reinforcements here as well. And if we take a look at Viper, where's his horsemen? Okay, they're around here. He doesn't have enough stuff to deal with this. It's got a decent amount of pikes, 8 pikes, but Vortix's archers numbers are growing fast. Ooh, if these horsemen can get a nice little flank here, although really good split here from Vortix. Get the knights to zone off the horsemen because they do really well against them, and have the archers stay out front so that the pikes can't ever connect to the knights. So Viper opting not to take this engagement, which I think was a smart decision, mainly because Vortix was on top of it and splitting his army accordingly. So he's going for a second tower here, and as you may notice, Viper's actually gathering stone. Now I don't think this is for a second TC, knowing Holy Roman Empire. I think he's going to go for upgrades, so he's already got arrow slits on this tower. He might even go for the fortify outpost here as well. We'll wait and see. Vortix adding in a barracks now to deal with the pikes, the horsemen, sorry. Well, like knights in like low numbers against horsemen are really good, but if your horsemen and pikes are on top of your knights, your knights are forced to fight and they can get melted down really quickly. So he's adding in spears here. Still doesn't have wheelbarrow. This is a bit surprising to me. I think this is a bit of a mistake, especially when you have 21 mils on wood. Okay, he's been using his golden gate, so maybe he's just prioritized army upgrades here. He's got +1 attack, he's got siege engineering as well. And maybe he's done a little bit of balancing with his wood and food here as well. Okay, so we got fortified outpost, another outpost getting fortified now. But man, I think Viper's going to really struggle to hold on here. And he's floating a lot of stone, doesn't have much food income right now. And he's looking to set up farms. He's a long way off castle. And if he's not producing like as many units as what Vortix is, he's going to have a really tough time holding this. I mean, arrow slits with 5 vills in them are getting good damage output. But Vortix feels comfortable just sitting under here because of the sheer numbers that he has. Other than the arrow slits, Viper doesn't really have much to focus down these pikes with. I mean, he can fight them with horsemen, which is okay in this situation because there's only a few pikes. But if those numbers start to get up, he's going to have trouble. And this is not a good engagement for him. He's lost all of his pikes and he only has 6 horsemen left. Not only that, but he's way behind on looking at aging up. Honestly, if I was him, I'd just drop another tower and put arrow slits on it as well because he's got 400 stone banked. Adding in a market now, maybe he's going to trade this stone. Maybe he's realized, oh shit, I've overgathered a lot of stone here. I'm going to trade that to gold and then potentially wood or food as well. Not ideal, obviously. A little bit of a mistake from Viper here, and he's going to struggle to hold here. And this proxy, the reinforcements from the proxy are so fast. It's literally impossible for Viper to cut off reinforcements because there's only this small little gap between here and here that Viper can do so. And currently, yeah, his gold eco is just being pressured. He's trying to repair it with his vills long enough for the auto repair to come back, but he just didn't get it in time. Vortix now with 2 rams, way better numbers. This is looking real dicey for Viper. He's nowhere near aging up. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this. Looks like he might call GG soon. This is a tournament game though, and I believe it was their last game of their set. Maybe second last. So not willing to tap out yet, bringing vills to siege. But if he loses a bunch of vills here, even if he cleans up like majority of Vortix's army, he's just going to be so far behind at this point. Vills trying to come out, but archers blocking their path. Knights re-engaging here. Vills coming back onto the rams. This is slaughter. Oh no. Oh no. 41 vills to 23. That's nearly double for Vortix right now, and this pressure looking really strong. I don't think Viper's going to be able to hold on here, and his eco is just so far behind. These units are not going to stop flowing. Like, GG was cold, and interesting. Maybe if you are a Rus lover and just couldn't find a way to play them properly, take a look into this build and implement it yourself. See how you go. I've tried it a few times and it's actually worked really well for me. So hope you enjoyed this analysis of Vortix's build with Rus. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.